This is Jamie, and this is Ain't You a Peach, and left over there, acting crazy as usual.
I'm just trying to make you smile. It's been a bad week for you. So, a little bit of levity never hurts. No, not levity in the bread. I just think, smile wouldn't hurt.
We'll see.
um,
So how has your week been? I know it's been raining.
well, yesterday was frustrating as all bejeebies. I have a door handle on the front door. It's levers instead of knobs, and somehow it got broke. Whoever was last in the house busted it, and
I didn't do
door
it.
wouldn't shut. The little clicker thingy that wouldn't. It was stuck inside. So
I didn't do it.
yeah. I didn't run. I drove actually to Lowe's at Dark 30 yesterday morning and got $104 replacement. Come home, figured, okay, this should be quick and easy. Took the old one off, went to put the new one on. It wouldn't line up. I kept messing with it. It just would not line up. So I got the drill out and modified the door a little bit. It still wouldn't line up. I mean, screw it. I got the file out and filed and chiseled. And I played for 2.5 hours, got frustrated, packed it up, and thought as I was boxing it up, maybe I'll look at the destructions one last time. I should have pulled a rusted lug nuts to start with, because the part that wasn't working for me, all I had to do is pull it out, turn it 180, and it lined up and went perfect in like 5 minutes time. And I spent hours sweating my derriere off trying to make. I'm not a carpenter. As anybody that's seen me knows me, I'm short, fat, and funny looking. Spoons and spatulas, I'm pretty good with. Hammers and nails are foreign objects. It's like Helen Keller trying to read a hot waffle iron. It just don't want to work. And so, yeah, that was not fun. But I did finally figured it out. And, now the front door shuts, and then I was a good boy and mowed the lawn.
Well, at least hearing thunder. At least next time you'll know the little trick. Turn it.
Turn it, yeah. But $104 for a damn door handle. And it's nothing fancy, Schmidt. It's a little lever, and you push the door in. Or on the outside, it's a lever, and you pull down.
Yeah, they don't. Oh god, it's like a big monopoly anymore.
Oh, everything is, but yeah, it was just one of those days yesterday. It's like, oh gadzooks. Had I had dynamite, I would have used it. Of course, I'm always ready, Freddie.
All right, well, let's go. Let's get this show started.
Okay, dokies. I like my music. Good afternoon, my fellow Ain't You a Peachers. Happy Sunday. It's the 226th day with 139 is still to go in 2022. Today is National VJ Day. That commemorates the day when news broke around the world the imperial government of Japan would surrender and end the long, grueling war. It's also National Navajo Code Talkers Day, and that honors the contributions of the Native Americans who brought their unique abilities to the World War II effort. While code talkers were instrumental during World War II, the United States military used Native American language in their code messages even before that. During World War I, the Choctaw tribe language was called upon to relate coded message. It's also National Spirit of 45 Day. No, not the guy that just left. That honors the can-do attitude of an entire generation affected by the trials and hardships of World War II. It honors those who have inspired us, sacrificed, and preserved our nation for the future generations. The day idly sets out to illustrate the people of the greatest generation. It's also National Creamsicle Day, and that celebrates the creamy citrus dessert on a stick. Creamsicle is the brand name of ice cream treat. It consists of vanilla ice cream on a popsicle stick with an outer coating of orange sherbet. It's day 884 of 14 to flatten the curve. Thank you, Liberty Lighthouse. What is a skeleton? A skeleton is a person who starts dieting but forgets to stop.
Hmm. Okay.
Bad? Not good? No, that one
Mm,
wasn't even. Yeah. I kind of thought that one was a little lame, but well, maybe.
yeah, maybe 10 on the lame scale. So, any of you that listen to Rhea know that she gives us a question every Sunday and we answer it. And
Mhm.
this week was a interesting one. I know some of you know that we're a corporation.
You were started
Um,
right the first time.
so that was the question, was how did the information, or how did the formation of the Washington DC, sorry, I can't even talk, affect the original draft of the US Constitution? So me and Lep kind of went in two different directions on this, but I'll let you go on and do yours first,
Do
and
the
then
the historical side. Okie
no,
dokie.
you do your what they want the public to know side.
Okay, I'll do the enclave part.
Okay.
The District of Columbia was created out of a get together between Hamilton and let me see, Hamilton and Madison. Now, they've tried to get a national government location determined. Currently, the state capital was in Philadelphia. And when a whole bunch of angry GIs who hadn't been paid stormed the then Capitol, kind of like they did on January 6th, but these guys actually had guns, and harassed Congress to the point of them having to adjourn, and they exited stage left and ran into New Jersey. Now, they did call on Pennsylvania, hey, help us out. We've got all these guys in here giving us grief. And the state just kind of blew them off. Yep, nope. So some folks in the government decided they needed to have a seat of their own. So at a dinner, Madison agreed that when the issue of assumption was brought before Congress again, he would remain passive rather than actively opposing it, which he had been doing, and would also convince some of his fellow Southern congressmen to support it. Hamilton, in turn, agreed that he would garner Northern support for the Potomac River capital location and lower rate at which Virginia would be taxed by $1.5 million under the Assumption Plan. As part of the Compromise of 1790, whoa, there went my mic. Well, I just barely bumped into, pivoted and twisted and went flying away. As part of the compromise, the Residence Act was passed in July of 1790, establishing the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. And in exchange for that, the Funding Act was passed that included the Assumption Act, passed in August of 1790. And the Assumption Act, they wanted to pay for the war debt. Now, part of the creation of DC was from Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, and it's the enclave clause, and it states to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever, such a district not exceeding 10 miles square, as may be by succession of particular states and the acceptance of Congress become the seat of government of the United States. And it shall exercise all authority over all places, purchases, and by consent of the legislature of the states in which the same shall be. Now, how they came up with that was because of that dinner. And like it says, the Congress shall have power to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such a district, and may, by succession of particular states and acceptance of Congress, become the seat of government for the United States. Again, that was out of the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17. Now, there are some peculiarities, if you will. The District of Columbia has what's known as home rule, and as the federal capital, the Constitution grants that Congress has exclusive jurisdiction over the district in all cases. Now, they set up their government just like everybody else. Nope. They have the president is the one who appoints the officers, including judges, a marshal, and an attorney and justice of the peace. Now, whereas everybody else is elected, the president picks out who's going to do what. And what they can do, let's see, the government of the District of Columbia, they have the Home Rule Act, which devolves certain powers of the United States Congress to the mayor and a 13-member council. However, Congress retains the right to review and overturn any laws created by the council and intervene in local affairs. And they set it up quite similarly to the government. There's the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judiciary. The executive is the mayor in the District of Columbia. He's the head of the executive branch, and the mayor has the duty to enforce city laws and the power to either approve or veto bills passed by the council. And let's see, there is as I scroll down, the legislative, which is the council for the District of Columbia, and it's the legislative branch. And each of the city's 8 wards elects a single member of the council, and residents elect 4 at-large members to represent the district as a whole. And they have the judiciary, which is the Supreme Court of the District of Columbia, and it's the local trial court, and it hears cases involving criminal and civil law. And let's see, the internal general, and then they have independent agencies, of course. Is there anything else that I didn't touch on? And how did they come up with the name of the District of Columbia? In 1791, the commissioners named the city after Washington, and it said that it would lie in the territory of Columbia. The name was a female personification of Columbus, and it was a term that was used to refer to the original 13 colonies and the entirety of the United States up until that time. In 1871, the territory of Columbia was officially renamed the District of Columbia. Ms. Jamie.
Okay. So, like I said, me and him kind of differ on this. So, what I got was the Act of the 41st Congress, Section 34, Chapter 61 and 62, Act titled An Act to Provide the Government for the District of Columbia, also known as the District of Columbia Organic Act of 1871. Okay, so they had no constitutional authority to do what they did. They just kind of did it, and you either liked it or didn't like it. So they created a separate form of government for the District of Columbia, which is, as everybody knows, and he said, 10-mile square parcel of land located between Maryland and Virginia. At that time, we were having some issues. We had just, I think it was at the end of the Civil War. We were suffering from bankruptcy. So they did this strategic maneuver, which is a European interest, the international bankers. Congress knew that we were in trouble, so they cut a deal with them, creating the capital C. Now pay attention, because I will be saying a lot of capital C Corporation, known as Capital United Capital States. It's capitalized because the corporation is owned by a foreign interest. They pretty much got rid of the they didn't get rid of it, but they kind of tossed it off to the side. The original Constitution, the organic version that the, founding fathers did. They kind of redid it, and they changed and anybody that's in legal would understand this. It has to do with capitalization. Okay, so they changed the title. They made it block capitalized, which means every letter is capitalized in every word. The word for, which was in the original Constitution, for the people, was changed to of in the title. The original Constitution, which was written by the Founding Fathers, was written the Constitution, capital Constitution, for the United States of capital America. The altered version reads, all caps, the Constitution of the United States of America. So it's the corporation constitution. It's not the same as our Constitution that the Founding Fathers wrote. Okay, so it operates on the corporate constitution operates on a economic capacity and has been used to fool people into thinking it's the same parchment that governs the republic, and it is not the same. The capitalization, which, like I said, that's something that if you were in any kind of legal thing, you know that the way documents are written, the capitalization of things has a lot to do with it. So there were minor alters that have major impacts on all of us. So what they did with the passage in the Act of 1871 was create an entirely new document. A constitution for the government is the district capital of Columbia capital. The kind of government that they created was a corporation. The new, now altered capital constitution serves as the constitution of the corporation and not of capital America. The corporation constitution does not benefit the capital republic. It only serves the corporation. It does nothing for us and operates outside of the original Constitution. The 41st Congress was in session. The Republic fell February 21st, 1871. Congress pretty much committed treason against the people who were considered sovereign, which was us, the people, we, the people, under the Capital Declaration of Capital Independence and the Organic Capital Constitution. When we consider the word sovereign, we must think about what this word means. According to Webster's dictionary, the supreme in power, possessing supreme dominion as the sovereign ruler of the universe. Supreme, superior to all others, chief. God is the sovereign of all who love and obey him. Supreme efficacious, I can never say this, efficacious. Superior to all others, predominant, effectual as a sovereign remedy. And the last one is supreme, pertaining to the first magistrate of a nation as sovereign authority. In other words, our government was created by and for sovereigns, the free citizens who were deemed the highest authority. Only the people can be sovereign. The government cannot. We can also look at the capital D Declaration of capital I Independence, where we read, government is subject to the consent of the governed, meaning us. We're the governed. We are the ones that say, yes, no, you can or can't do that. Yet they've changed that now. We have no right. Look at the all capital letters United States Code. Corporation, not republic. Title 28, 3002, I'm sorry, 3002, parentheses 15, parentheses A, parentheses B, parentheses C, where it states unequivocally that the United States, 15, means A, a federal corporation, B, an agency, department, commission, board, or other entity of the United States, or C, an instrumentality of the United States. The United States has two constitutions, the written constitution in peacetime and the special unwritten constitution in the time of war or national emergency. So now you know. You are muted. I cannot hear you. Uh-oh. Somebody boo-boo.
It's because I had coughed earlier and turned the mic off. I was trying to be nice. So now it's time for my rebuttal. Yes, the District of Columbia Organic Act of 1871 established a new unified government for Washington, D.C. It incorporated that city. Many cities incorporate. They take a piece of this, a piece of that. They put them together. They incorporate. And let's see, they incorporated that city, a common legal form and organized for governance by a single entity. In this case, two cities and a county were merged into the District of Columbia, and it made no changes to the nation as a whole.
Well, my question is, and we're going to talk about the IRS in the next half, but
I hate them.
does it kind of make you wonder because, you know, the way that our Constitution is written and the taxation laws and everything else, and the fact that we're being taxed illegally. I mean, this has been going on for a very, very long time. It's just no one has stood up yet. Okay, so we've also, not only that, but we have, and I know a lot of this has been going on for the past, I want to say year and a half now. People are kind of waking up to this whole Constitution thing and the fact that we are no longer a republic. We are a constitution. I mean, not a constitution, but a corporation. And the fact that our White House sits on foreign soil. You know, it's owned by a foreign entity, the international banks, which is illegal. For one, and I know that I myself follow a lot of people that live in Washington who have cameras going 24/7 live streams on the White House, and there is half the time nothing going on there. The lights are out most of the time. All this kind of stuff is dead. And you know, I've heard rumors for the past several years that Biden is either in California, and I can't remember the name of the studio there, or he's here in Georgia at Tyler Perry's studio, which actually does have a mini White House. It has a White House there. And I've seen pictures of them standing outside this White House, which you can tell the differences in them by the trees, the way that things are planted and stuff, because they're not planted the same. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's very, very suspicious, you know? But
Very, very suspicious. We'll get on over to givemelibertynow.org/mojo50, and you can find out more about what happened in the Capitol on January 6th. That's givemelibertynow.org/mojo50. That is Nick Searcy's movie, Capital Punishment. I figured I'd at least squeeze one commercial in since we got beeped.
That's true. That is true.
And I do believe I heard Rhea talking last week or so about legal documents and capitalization. So, you know, there might be some truth to that, maybe.
Well, I know my niece has been following someone that she's trying to become a sovereign citizen, and that's, your name is written in all caps, and it has these colons and all this other, the way
I sure like to find copies where they've changed it from one to the other, because every copy I find all says the same thing.
Yeah. We'll be back in 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run.
I heard Spot talking. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I'll be here. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing this Sunday? Per said, meteor showers are going on, but full moon is going to block most of them out, so they'll be hard to see. And it should be, they're expecting anywhere from 50 to 20 an hour this year, even with the moon. Otherwise, there would be, 100 an hour or so for the little light ones. But yeah, all you got to do is pretty much find a nice clear sky, look up with most of the lights off. I'm right in the middle of town, so light city, I have very much light pollution. But if you can get to a nice dark area and look up, should be fun. Should be. I hope everybody's having fun this Sunday. Yep, this is one of those. This first segment there was one of those segments where Miss Jamie and I just disagreed, didn't we, honey?
Yes, we did.
I
It must have been the Uber person coming home, you know. Yeah.
I got a beep from the boss lady on Sunday, and said, "Good work. That's a keeper."
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that is always good.
Yeah, I like when she's happy with her work, and that's what it was fun because we went opposite sides of the argument, if you will. I'd really like, if you can, find some pictures or illustrations where they changed of to 4. Oh, I hear a beepy.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh,
A
me.
strobe, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go get a job? Let's go get jobs. I know somebody hiring.
Oh, yeah, for the IRS. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let's do it. I don't know. I don't know
Oh
if I
my,
can handle 50 hours a week though.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to scroll back over to this thing. D D D D D D D D D. I feel like I'm on Jeopardy. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Major duties. Are you ready for this? And this is, it's got the little IRS logo on it. It's jobs.irs.gov. So you can go check out yourself. Major duties: adhere to the highest standards of conduct, especially in maintaining honesty and integrity. Work a minimum, not maximum, minimum, no less than 50 hours per week, which may include irregular hours, and be on call 24/7. Hey, Bert, get on over there. You got to audit them guys. I better hurry up. Get there at 2:00. Yeah, I don't get that. That's including holidays and weekends. Here's one, right. Maintain a level of fitness necessary to effectively respond to life-threatening situations on the job. Oh my God, Bob, I got a paper cut, or the batteries in my calculator died. Yeah, I don't understand. Okay. So far, those don't make sense. IRS, you're dealing with numbers. That's on paper. It might be on a computer. It's still just numbers. And let's see, what else do you have to do? Okay, I can get along with this one. I mean, I will. Carry a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary. What? Give me your pencil or I'll blow your brains out. What? I don't get it. Let's see. And the last one: be willing and able to participate in arrest, execution of search warrants, and other dangerous assignments.
Well, I mean,
I had sent a note to Brad going, geez, it sounds like these guys are the new Gestapo. And Mr. Staggs, said, yeah, no, you're mistaken there. The FBI already has that distinction. So what, these guys are going to be like the brown shirts, run around and whoop on everybody with sticks? They got to be ready to shoot somebody over taxes, IRS's taxes. What do they need a gun for?
I mean, especially if you get audited, because I think that's what.
I've been audited. Everything was through the mail. I sent it in. They said that's not good enough.
I'm saying like an actual, like they come and knock, and we need to sit down with you and look at all of your paperwork.
Oh, you're okay. Generally, you go to their office. They don't come to your house for an audit. They call you in and go, hey, Bob, I want you to come in tomorrow at 10 o'clock so we can figure out what you're not doing.
I mean, I don't know. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Very much so. And do you remember a year ago or 5, maybe, when the Kenyan was driving the boat and he bought a whole buttload of bullets? And I was like, why do they need bullets? I don't understand.
I have actually heard that they have been stockpiling for quite some time now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
How cool breeze. Now, why would they do that? I mean, what would be the
why else?
To give these 68,000 bodies? I mean, or 87,000 bodies? That's almost 100,000 people.
It has to do with the fact that they know, just like most countries know, which is why we generally do not get attacked on our own soil, because people know. The United States has more guns than, and owned by the private citizens. So
far.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing I can think of, is because, lately they've been giving certain powers to certain people that normally don't have certain powers, type of thing.
Like the ATF being able to write, it's like, wait a minute, dude, you're not Congress.
Well, just like FEMA, they gave FEMA certain, rights.
Wasn't it FEMA that said, hey, you can't get thrown out of your house if you haven't paid your rent? Wasn't it FEMA that came out and said, landlord, you can't evict people for not paying?
Yeah, back then. But I'm saying, during the COVID thing, but I'm saying, because we're not, you're not hearing about it much, but because we need to watch out because we do have a strike. But the fact that when that was going on, they were talking about, rumor was, and I'm saying rumor because a lot of you don't believe it, I guess, that, thinking how to word it. Okay, so, how Walmarts are. They always get bigger, so they have to go bigger. So there are a lot of abandoned Walmarts out there.
Okay.
My understanding is they're being converted into FEMA camps. Okay.
Oh, I've heard FEMA camps before.
Right. Okay. So, and FEMA will have the full authority to,
do whatever.
Pretty much. Okay. So when does FEMA, because I don't even think, I'm trying to think. It's just like the CDC. The CDC is not even a government thing. It's a private business.
It's like the Fed.
But yet they have all this authority. Mm-hmm. And then the IRS came out of the Fed, or was it the Fed? What was it? The IRS came out of something. So it technically, neither of them were federal
or legitimate agent. They're agencies, but they're not a legitimate, if you will.
yeah, they just keep creating all this stuff and then giving all this power to people that aren't even a government entity,
Right.
and
Department
we
of
have to do what they
Education,
say. Yeah,
the CDC. Yeah. I was kind of thinking earlier, you were talking about DC being a corporation. Maybe that's why all them people get up there and stay for years and years and years and make billions, because it's a corporation and they're just getting their dividends.
that is the only thing that I can think of, is they just keep on creating things, and they don't like the fact that all these guns are out there, and they're failing at their fight to do better gun control per se, with
Yeah.
all these said shootings going on, and we all know what just happened with what's his name, with the school shooting, and I've heard things like that, and not from him, but I've also seen pictures of people, he was talking about crisis actors and this, that, and the other, and I've seen pictures of the same person at several different shootings, whether it be a school shooting or whatever, in different states. So
Well, that could
I
be
have
his
seen
job,
this
to
stuff.
instigate shootings. Maybe
Well,
that's
that's
what it
what I'm
is.
thinking. I think, and it kind of goes along with the MK Ultra thing, which the guy in, and now I can't think of where it was, but I had a video. He was I think it was Detroit, maybe, that just shot. I think it was like four different people, and he did a video, which I have somewhere on my phone. He did a video talking about the voices in his head.
Hmm.
Okay, and we're not talking psychiatric, like, it's MK Ultra is where they, and he's not the first one that has said this. The kid with the Parkland shooting in Florida,
Right.
very normal, had some psych issues and stuff like that, but even his psychiatrist said he never heard voices, he never, stuff like that, but even he was talking about the voices in his head. There
Hmm.
is some sort of thing, and it's probably somehow attached to the military doing it, because I mean, even things like transporting, going through portals and stuff like that, has been documented. It's just the people don't know. You have to really do your research to find this stuff. Okay, so MK Ultra has a lot to do with the mind control thing. And this guy was talking about the MK Ultra. That guy was saying it. The guy up in where was it that did the 4th of July shooting? He literally had it on his Facebook wall that he was a victim of MK Ultra. Why are all these people all of a sudden coming out with MK Ultra, and they're doing shootings, which to me tells me that the government's putting them in that situation, pushing them out there, brainwashing them to go out and do these things so that they can go, hey, we need to get rid of the guns.
Well, of course, without the
Hence,
guns, we can't defend ourselves, and they can continue to rule as they will.
hence the
Eventually, we'll
IR,
get tired and they'll end up being nuked themselves.
hence the IRS suddenly becoming legal carriers of guns. How many did they hire?
87,000
Yeah. So we're going to have 87,000
extra,
IRS agents walking
extra.
around with extra, yeah, walking around with guns. Oh, it was the
Approximately 170,000 agents
oh,
total.
I remember what it was that I heard this morning. It was the Secret Service. The IRS came out of the Secret Service, or the Secret Service came out of the IRS. I can't remember which one, but that was what it was.
Hmm.
So, and it's funny because of my niece, she's married to one, and and he is so in denial about so much stuff. I mean, just all this stuff going on and everything. And someone brought it up to me one day and said, "Well, how do you know that he wasn't?" Because a lot of these people, we feel like know what's going on. You
Right.
know, a lot of the people that are playing the good guy, bad cop, good cop thing, that they actually know what's going on. They're just playing a game right now to kind of bide our time or whatever until they can come in and like smack us. So the question was, well, do you think that he actually knows what we've been trying to, or what she's been trying to get through his head, but he's in denial? Because, I mean, if he knows, is he really going to say, yeah, he knows?
Who only the shadow knows for sure.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's like
Well, I
nobody
know I'm
knows for
going.
sure what's going on anymore. But a lot of this, and they have proven a lot of the MK Ultra stuff. I mean, if anybody's watched Wormwood, which is on Netflix, and that's the acid, some of the acid test.
Ooh, can I volunteer?
It's done. I think this
Oh
was back
man,
in
they probably did it
when
back in the
was it?
'60s when it was good acid.
No, it was for some reason. When was Wormwood? Because
I
it was.
know.
Go ahead.
I I have blood tests coming up so they can check to make sure that the meds I'm on aren't, killing my liver and whatnot. And I'm also having them check for cadmium, see if I have any, see what my cadmium levels are. That's one of the heavy metals they're supposedly spraying in the air. Barium
Okay.
and cadmium.
It's 1953. It was the death of a scientist, and he was a CIA employee. His name was Frank Olson. And in 75, they tied it to a top secret experiment, which was the acid experience. And they've
Timothy
also
Leary.
they've also got the it was somewhere in the projects. I want to say it could be Chicago, or I'm thinking Chicago or New York. It was in one of the bigger cities, but the projects where they were in the vents of said building, they were piping in like an aerosol type of drug in.
Huh.
Yeah, and I think it killed a lot of people and stuff like that. But it's things like that, things like, and there's actually videos if you go and look for them of people sitting like in two separate rooms, but they're looking at a wall that's between them, and one is hooked up to a thing like a kind of like an electric chair, but it's not an electric chair. It's mainly their hands are attached to whatever it is that's shocking, and there's a voice thing between them, and there's like questions asked by the other person, and the other person. It's a test to see how far will these people go. How far will a person go?
Oh, they've already proved you go as far as taking somebody, snuffing them.
Right, but I mean, it was back in the 50s or 60s, somewhere around in there, and they literally would ask questions back and forth, and they would hit the button when they felt that they were lying, and they could hear the person screaming out in pain, and it was a question of how high, because every time they asked one, they had to turn it up a little bit more.
Right.
So how high will you go knowing that you are putting pain on someone? So, I mean, it just things
And
like
most
that.
people maxed it out, I'll bet.
Right, and there are so many experiments like that. I mean, and that LSD experience in the 50s is not the first one. There have been several experiences throughout, you know. And then, like you said, we've got the chemtrails. They're poisoning us. They're doing all the stuff, which I've been doing a lot of research on that.
Well,
Um,
they're trying to cool the planet down. It's all them SUVs. They're tearing everything
no,
up.
no, no. They're trying to warm the. It's the heat. That's why it's so much hotter now. And then they're covering things up. It's like, supposedly according to the Bible, it's gonna get dark. The sun and the moon are just gonna. Okay, so I've seen in some places people are talking about how it's blocking things. But then
Right.
it also goes to all this stuff that they give us to supposedly make us better, which actually makes us sicker. So, I mean, this
Well,
has
like
been going on. I mean,
fluoride. Yeah.
well, it's not just fluoride, you know.
Well, I'm just
If
saying
you go
that was
out,
one of the big ones.
if you go out in the sun, put on sunscreen. Sunscreen has, and it's proven, sunscreen has carcinogenics in it. Okay, I mean, it's if you trust your government at this point, I don't
I
know.
have a bridge I'll sell you. It's over the river. It's not a local bridge. It's over the River Kwai.
Yeah, it
It's
just
terrible.
I don't know. I have no trust at all. But I know with what we were talking about earlier with the Constitution and stuff, there are a lot of people right now with everything going on that they are calling themselves sovereign citizens. They have special license plates. They do not have a driver's license, insurance, or anything else. Um, and it's a war that's going on between them and the police at this point. And there are a lot of people out there that are actually doing it, but that's what it has to do with is we are not sovereign citizens like we used to be. The laws don't help us. They go against us now.
Well, with the
So,
current regime, I'd have to agree.
well, any regime, the laws are stacked against us. The whole thing is just, it's about them, it's not about us. Where
Of course.
the original Constitution was about us, our rights, our control over our government, where now our government controls us.
It
Just
very
like,
much does.
just like
You
the
can drive a car if you
taxes.
have a piece of paper or plastic card that we give
Well,
you
it's not
after you've paid us to let you drive said car,
right,
after you've
it's
paid
not
us
even,
for said car.
but it's not just that. It's your house. You pay for a house, but yet you never truly own that house. If you don't pay your taxes on that, even though you've already paid taxes on the original amount, you've paid taxes on this. Why are you paying tax on something that you own? You own it. If I go to the store and I buy stuff and I pay my tax, does that give them a right to come tax me over and over and over again on the food
They
that I
do.
already, I mean, it's, we pay a gas tax, we pay a road tax, we pay school taxes, I mean, everything is taxed to the max. But the biggest thing to me is you own a car and you own a house, but you still pay all these taxes on both of them as long as
Both
you
of them.
own them.
Yep.
Even if they are paid off, you still have to pay the tax. If you don't, they'll come and take it.
They will. That's how Kentucky does their vehicle tax. It's a sales tax on the value of the vehicle. And mine's 15 years old. I just paid it. It still cost me $75 damn dollars.
Exactly. You technically don't own the car.
No, I'm renting it from the state on a
Pretty
yearly
much.
basis.
Pretty much.
But I'm
Contingent on you
responsible for
paying.
all maintenance and repairs.
But yeah, you're responsible for it, but it's contingent on you paying that $75 each year.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's just finally coming down to that. It was more. It goes, like I say, every year by the value of the vehicle,
I
and they
know
hit you
that
sales tax
Georgia,
when you go
I
ahead.
know Georgia has changed theirs, and I don't remember when they changed it, but it's been several years ago. I still have to pay every year, but it's a $25 thing, and that's it. I
Oh,
don't.
that's not bad then.
No one ever pays more than $25. You pay your initial tax when you buy the vehicle,
Right.
and then you pay $25 each year. And I think that gives you that little sticker.
Sticker that you stick on your license plate. Well,
Yeah,
see, that's not bad. $25 for
yeah, it's
your
not compared to what it used
driving
to be.
privilege is what it is. It's
Yeah.
$25 tax for you to have the privilege of driving
Oh,
for
trust
one
me,
more
it was
year.
crazy before. I remember paying out the butt. I mean, it was horrible. But then you got your house taxes. Now that
That one's not
that's
bad.
a big old doozy. You know what I mean?
See, and
Yeah.
for me, it's not because I get a partial cut because I'm disabled.
See, I don't. I don't get any break on it. I just have to pay
For a whole lot of years, I came up to where taxes on my house was only $80 and they only tax on a full 100. So for probably 10 or 15 years, I didn't have to pay any. And then they
it.
reassessed everything, and it's a minimal fee, maybe $90, $60. It's,
I just to me it seems like once you buy something you should never have to pay a tax on it. You know, your tag should be good for the entire time that you own the car. Why should you have to pay for a new tag each year? Why should you have to, do all this stuff? It's just ridiculous. If you don't have kids in school, why should you have to pay a school tax?
that's one I have argued with forever. I don't have rats. I have no dog in that hunt, but yet I pay the taxes. Now, several years ago, when I had a dedicated line here on the computer, here in the computer room, I had to pay 911 fees on the computer
Really?
line. And I argued with them left, right, and side. It was just, what the hell am I supposed to do? Pick the keyboard up and talk into it? Hey, 911, send me some. What are you charging me 911? It's a computer. Oh, no, it's a
I've
phone
never
line.
had
Every phone
that.
line. Yeah. Every phone line had to
Well,
have
that's not.
911 charges. And it was like a
But that
$5 a
was
month.
but that was back when we had the actual lines coming into the house, right? Not
Yes.
not the what we have now where it's I forgot what it's called, but
Wi-Fi or internet,
Wi-Fi, yeah.
voiceover.
God, because it's been years since I've actually had a landline that was actually a landline. My
I
mom
did
and
for a
dad,
lot of years.
my mom and dad did. Well, actually, it's still existent because my brother hasn't sold the house yet. But yeah, they have a landline there that is the original landline.
Yeah. And see, mine was until I went DSL or something, and then they changed it over to something else. But at
Hmm.
the time, yeah, if power went off, I still had a phone. Now, if power goes off,
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
nothing. Well, I got the cell phone if it's charged.
Well, yeah, but I mean, with the other, you didn't have to have electricity. You didn't have to have
Nope.
anything. You just pick up that
All I had to
phone
do
and
is
hang it
pick
on the
up the
wall,
phone.
and I mean, God, I remember back when my grandparents, when we used to go to Arkansas all the time, and they lived on top of a mountain, so it was a party line.
Party line. Oh, hell.
So you'd pick it up and you'd like hit the thing a couple of times and see if anybody was on there, and if anybody was on there, then you just had to wait until unless it was emergency. Can you please? I need to make an emergency phone call. Whatever. But
I
then you
guess
had
if
to
you didn't
connect.
breathe on it, you could have listened to everybody's phone calls back in them days.
Yeah. Well, I did when I was a kid. I used to off all the time. It was kind of funny, but I remember you used to have to like hit certain buttons or dial certain buttons, and
Uh
it would
huh.
go to an operator who would connect you. My cousin actually, her first job out of high school was 411, back when you actually
Had a
someone said,
411 operator.
"Hi, Bell South, how can I help you?"
I
I
think my
mean,
sister did that for a while too. I think she was some kind of way
mhm.
back in the day. I
She ended up,
think.
because they got rid of all that and it all became, computerized, where you just say whatever it is and it
Yeah.
charges and whatever. But she actually retired about 5 years ago from Bell South. That was the only job she ever had.
Oh,
So she
wowzer.
started out as a 411 operator and worked her way up into the corporate. So, well,
Mm-mm-mm.
I hope this has been
That was a quick one.
interesting and entertaining and educational for some of you. Uh,
Enlightening.
yeah, very enlightening. All you got to do is do some research, and yeah, it's kind of
Quick
interesting.
show tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We really, really appreciate it. And as of course, don't forget to hit like and share,
Oh
and have
yeah.
your friends and neighbors and family all hit like and share. More bodies, more bodies, more bodies.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. And don't forget to go buy some coffee from DM. American
Of
Brewer
course.
Coffee.
I was really bad on my commercials this time. I normally am pretty good. I even had the clock going and it was like sugars. I ran out of time both times.
And my pillow, Mojo 50.
Yep.
What else do we have? We can throw out there.
Doc
Patriot
Brown's
Supply.
KBD CBD
Patriot
over at Mojo
Supply.
50.
Oh, and of course Ron's business and Rocky's business. So we will all see y'all next week, same time.
Same peach channel, same peach time.